No, I'm not mocking you. It's Mocking with You, the podcast that settles the debates once and for all with your host, Lil B, and the hater.
Hello and welcome to the Mocking with You podcast. We're excited to bring you an amazing episode today. We are going to be mocking our most overrated players from each NFL team right now, today, on your favorite NFL team. Chris is here with us today. Chris is having some technical difficulties. Chris is just going to be audio today. I am here physically with my beautiful self. Chris is there. You're just going to hear his beautiful voice instead of see his beautiful face. We did try to put this out yesterday, but a lot of technical difficulties. So sorry that this is going to come out a little late. Sorry about the graphic being a little late, but we will get this out to you as soon as possible so you guys can enjoy this episode. And we are going to bring you the most underrated players from every NFL team next week. And the following week after that, we will have a Christmas special. So a lot of great episodes coming up and for the holiday season and right before the new year. So I hope you enjoy it. And let's get right into it, Chris. And let's start like we talked about before. We did a coin flip before the episode. And yours truly selected to go first, so he didn't have to pick some other crappy team.
Well, you want to force my hand so I can pick an Atlanta Falcon that you hate.
Yeah, exactly. I want you to do it. It's all about the.
I've had a day to think about this. Another player that's overrated, and I'm still going to pick the same player.
So I did the same. I sat here and thought, about the Arizona Cardinals. Yesterday, I selected a player, before all the technical difficulties. And I'm going to stay on that same boat because I still truly think with the Arizona Cardinals, he's the most overrated player, and that's Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown, I understand that he's had Joshua Dobbs and everybody else at quarterback, but Kyler Murray, Hollywood Brown, it's just an overrated wide receiver. Everybody keeps trying to make him something more than he is. He's a good wide receiver, but he is not this number one first-round talent, what we all expected Hollywood Brown to be. So Hollywood Brown is the first pick for the Arizona Cardinals here for the overrated player draft.
Yeah, you want to talk about who played Watkinson like you who played Hopkinson? How about Hollywood Watkinson? Because Hollywood drops every ball that comes his way. He might be an MDS's cousin or something.
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
Hollywood Brown just.
All right.
Let me hear it.
You just love to hear it, and I'm sure a lot of Atlanta Falcons don't want to hear this. Fans don't want to hear this, but Kyle Pitts is the most overrated Falcon there is right now.
And I don't want to hear coaching. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear that.
Hey, if I could pick coach, I would pick, Arthur Smith for picking for all his players, Matt Collins that get touchdowns over first round.
Let me just say this, Chris. And it's something nobody wants to talk about because Kyle Pitts, everybody wants to go, talk about how amazing Kyle Pitts was in college. Is it because Kyle Pitts isn't as good as everybody thinks he is, and the Jonnu Smith is actually a better tight end, so they're actually using Jonnu Smith over Kyle Pitts because Jonnu Smith is better at this point in his career?
Jonnu Smith is a better blocking tight end. That's why
I don't know. He might be better. Did you not see some of those catches Jonnu has? Jonnu has more catches, more yards, more touchdowns than Kyle Pitts. I'm just saying.
I think purely based off of scheme, this is not a good scheme fit for Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts seems to be in an in-league type offense, where he's flexed out and he's used in the slot or outside, not blocking. He's not a blocking tight end. No one expects Kyle Pitts to be him, no one, but so far, he's overrated.
Yeah, so you're right. We love it. I think I get to do here. We're going to move on to the next pick. We're going to talk about the Baltimore Ravens here. I think we all know where I'm going to go here. And it's going to be the same way I went yesterday. There was another player Chris would pick here, I think, but I think Chris also agrees with Lamar Jackson's overrated. Lamar Jackson is Justin Fields. Everybody wants to make them better. And what I mean by that is a lot of people think Justin Fields isn't a bad system and bad this or bad that. Justin Fields is Justin Fields. Lamar Jackson's Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson wasn't winning games, which he does, that's the only thing. But Lamar Jackson's stats as a quarterback overall are not good. He's 2,800 yards to maybe 3,000 passing yards a season with 20 touchdowns to 8 to 10 interceptions with 750 to 1,000 rushing. Nothing sexy about that anyway. I mean, the rushing is what makes Lamar good. But like as a quarterback overall, he's not a great quarterback. His completions are a little bit better than what they have been, but still, he's not. And people want to say he didn't have wide receivers. Well, look here, he's having wide receivers, and he's still not having an amazing year. He's still only throwing 1 touchdown a game. Lamar Jackson got this huge payday, and everybody's happy about it because he's still winning games. But if he wasn't winning the games, Lamar Jackson is an overrated quarterback. And he's not an MVP. In no words, he's not balling out. He's not even in the MVP talk. So anybody who even tries to argue Lamar Jackson in the MVP talks is an idiot. And that's coming from one of the worst years in recent memories for MVP talks. Like this should
MVP race is so bad right now. He won't be considered.
I'm sorry, Tyreek Hill should be MVP 1,000 times over before Lamar Jackson's even thought about it.
Tyreek Hill's probably the front runner right now.
And that's even if Tyreek Hill, even if it was a good year for QB race for quarterbacks, because it's always quarterbacks. Let's be honest, it's bullcrap. It always goes to a quarterback. But Tyreek Hill is on pace for over 2,000 yards and like 20-something touchdowns. That should always be talked as an MVP for a wide receiver. Even when there's a quarterback throwing 40-something touchdowns and 5,000 yards.
2,000 yards is ridiculous for a wide receiver.
Yeah. So it's your turn. I wonder if you're going to stay the same course from yesterday's before we lost technical difficulties for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, we talked about all the guys. We talked about Nick Davis. We talked about Stephon Diggs. Included, but it's gotta be, and I'm standing by it. Josh Allen has had moments of brilliance, and he's had moments of, oh my God, what are you doing? He's had the oh my God, what are you doing moments a lot this year. Like on Monday night, I know, but it's magnified for Josh Allen, and he's in a year where the Bills were expected to be Super Bowl contenders, and they might not even make the playoffs now.
How are they not going to make the playoffs? Who in that division is taking the besides the Dolphins? The AFC is weak. The NFC is weak.
AFC, they're 6-6 the Bills, bro.
Okay, there's 7 teams in the playoffs.
The Steelers, the Ravens, the Browns. The
Steelers just lost to the New England Patriots.
They're still ahead of them. They're still ahead of them.
The Steelers, though, have just lost to the Cardinals and the Patriots back-to-back weeks.
I know. I'm not saying that the Steelers are going to win out, but I'm saying like the hill is mountain for the Bills to climb to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, very much so.
And Josh Allen, it's supposed to be he's like the new Russell Wilson. He's playing every year. He's playing the MVP. And then what happens? He tails off into oblivion. And so Josh Allen's overrated.
I like Josh, but I get your arguments. I do. I can't sit here and act like you're not speaking truth, but also that defense has been horrendous.
Yeah, but it could have fit in tomatoes over that.
Yeah. So let's move on to the Carolina Panthers. I'm staying the course here again. I think because the Carolina Panthers are truly the worst roster team in the NFL. So it's hard to pick here. I'm not going to pick Bryce Young. Bryce Young is in a bad situation, a horrible offensive line, horrible wide receivers, no running game, and a defense that should be playing a lot better. So I'm not going to blame Bryce Young because when Bryce Young has had the time to actually stand in the pocket and make the throws, he does it and he does it well. But, I mean, most of the time, Bryce Young has literally 2 seconds to throw that football or he's getting pounded because his offensive line is horrible. So I'm going to go with the guy that they gave, who had a great year last year. The Carolina Panthers and the Frank Reich gave this guy a contract to become their star running back, and I'm taking Miles Sanders here. I think Miles Sanders is the most overrated player on this roster. He is having a horrendous season. He's getting paid to be better than what he is. And I think with this roster, I think it's the clear choice that Miles Sanders is the most overrated.
Yeah, no, Cooper Hubbard, who didn't get paid, is outplaying him. I'm putting all the running backs in the roster. Yeah.
Even if Miles Sanders is healthy, Chuba needs to be the starter.
All the running backs without playing him.
Yeah, exactly.
Miles Sanders. Like, I don't even understand why he got paid. And he was only just for one season.
Because he had like that 1,200 yards last year and 10 touchdowns and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. The Carolina Panthers are in a bad way. And it's just like the Houston Texans firing coach after coach and coach. David Tepper has no patience for any coach, and I don't like. You still want to be an NFL coach, so a coach is still going to take that job. But man, it's just not a sexy job because there's only so many chances you get to become an NFL coach. In Carolina right now, with the roster and the ownership, I just don't know. Like, if
how can you coach a team that you know is going to be sabotaged? Like, him and that's the right quarterback.
And you don't even have the time to build it. You're not going to get time to build it. Like you gave Matt Rule 2.5 years, and then you give Frank Reich 8 games. I think it's stupid. Yeah, we'll see. No. There's other, but let's move on to the Chicago Bears. And what do you got here, Chris?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about who I can pick that's not Justin Fields.
On that team, I don't know.
There's nobody else I can pick here. Maybe Felix Jones.
Yeah, but Felix Jones was a third-round pick, and I don't even know if you can. I get where you're trying to sit there, but I think Fields is the clear-cut obvious.
Maybe Darnell Mooney, but Darnell Mooney.
I don't know if Mooney was a late round draft pick. And, since DJ Moore's come in.
It's only in the seat. Justin Fields. No. I'm so tired of the narrative here. The narrative is, oh, we don't have an offensive line. Oh, Matt Nagy can cut coach. Oh, we don't have any wide receivers. Well, what's the excuse now? Maybe he don't have an offensive line still. But he's got a new head coach for 2 years now, a new offensive coordinator, where Mike Jackson's not that good. But all he can do is call screen plays because Justin Fields can't hit a wide open target, not going to hit a foreign door. But
his QBR this year, by the way, is 45.1. It's taken it's taken over an 11-point dip from his career high of 56.3.
By the way,
he has only 1,500 yards passing.
My QBR in the 70s or higher.
Yeah, he's never even got close to a QBR of 70, 56.3. His highest touchdowns is 17 to 11 interceptions. And that's not including his fumbles. He has more turnovers than he does touchdowns.
He's a turnover machine.
He is. And so Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback and a better player all around than Justin Fields, 100%. because Lamar Jackson wins games and doesn't turn the
And
ball over.
we're going on record. Cliff would not pick Lamar Jackson. I would not pick Lamar.
Yes, you would not.
I would pick the one note pony.
Yeah, the one guy who's living off
Le'Veon Clowney.
Yeah,
Like there's two of them on that team. That was two. Wow, man, you had a plan of picks, man.
I did, but Lamar Jackson's the most overrated. I'm going with the most overrated, not the most. Like Clowney is maybe 5 years ago you could have talked about Clowney, but Clowney still shouldn't be in the league. But I don't know how that dude is bouncing around. But OBJ you could probably talk about is still living off of one play in his career in the NFL. But yeah, Justin Fields is trash. Move on. But I everything that is being heard about right now in Chicago is that they're going to give Fields another year, which I fucking love as a Packer fan. Please keep giving me the quarterback that can't win games and turns over in the big moments. Please,
just keep Marvin Harrison.
Which, hey, Marvin Harrison is an elite God level talent, but you're not going to be able to.
At least you got the pieces put together, and it doesn't feel all those pieces and don't work out. Let's bring in some veterans.
Worst case scenario is when Justin Fields flames out again after another bad year. You have no excuses. You now have every weapon lined up for a quarterback that you can take the following year.
Yeah. Or they're the veteran quarterback.
Exactly. So we'll keep moving on. We'll get to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are really hard because I don't think it's Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow dealt with injuries all year long. And he played well when he started playing really well when that calf injury went away. And I think this team, again, this is where, for me, if you want to talk about a head coach, this is where I would take the head coach. This is where I would take, good old Sean. Oh, God, what is his name? I just blanked out on his name. Zach Taylor. I would take Zach Taylor here in a heartbeat. But
you know what? I wouldn't pick Zach Taylor. You know why? Nobody names with Blake Browning. Come on.
Yeah.
Blake Browning looked kind of good, honestly.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I like my pick yesterday that I had for here, because I just felt like I don't want to punish a guy who's been injury prone, this year.
Yeah. If you're wondering, who Higgins was the pick yesterday.
You know what? I think this is right now. I think if I'm going to pick anybody off of this roster, because I think this is actually a very good roster. If you look at it overall, they have a very good lineup, a good roster. They're just poorly coached right now and obviously dealing with a lot of injuries. But I feel like this player has been overrated since his little stint in Baltimore and is now working on his third team. And I'm going to take Orlando Brown Jr.
Yeah. He was a coop last year.
Yeah, and he was mad because he wanted to be a left tackle and paid left tackle money, but he's not a good left tackle. He's not a bad left tackle. He's not an elite left tackle, but he wanted to be paid his elite left tackle money, and the Chiefs refused to do it, and so did the Ravens. But the Bengals did it, and he's having an okay year. But look at the quarterbacks; their quarterbacks are getting demolished on another bad old line. So I'm going to take Orlando Brown Jr. And it's not maybe saying he's completely overrated, but for this team, I think he's the most overrated player. Again, that's how we have to look at it. It's for the team overall. He's probably the most overrated.
I feel like Higgins was a little stronger.
Yeah, I did too. After I thought about it,
it's in the contract year.
Contract year, dealing with injury after injury.
And yeah, I don't know. Well, Orlando Brown, I don't know. I like it. I like Joe Mixon then when he's been good.
Joe's having a good year, sir. Like I was thinking Joe Mixon, but Joe Mixon in these last couple of weeks has really turned it on. Like I really was debating Joe. Give me a second. I'll pull up his stats. He has 689 yards, 6 touchdowns, 39 receptions for. Oh, God, I don't have all his stats. It's not pulling the full number up.
Well, he's having a good season.
Yeah, he's having a good season. That's why I didn't like. Where's his receiving? I hate trying to deal with freaking Pro Football Reference sometimes. They don't make it easy. He has 209. Wait, he has 281 yards on 39 receptions, which isn't really that sexy. 39 receptions on 281 yards. That you would hope with 39 receptions, you're looking at maybe like 400 yards, 300 yards, but yeah, I mean he's already going to be over 1,000 yards. So
Yeah.
All right, let's
All
move
right,
on.
Cleveland Browns. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this. No, that whole throw it right in. The massage guy, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything else. Moving on.
Yeah, nothing else easily says here. Dallas Cowboys. I put a lot of thought into the Dallas Cowboys. Like, if it wasn't for this year he was having, I would have clearly said CeeDee Lamb because I thought every season before this, CeeDee Lamb wasn't living up to what everybody thought CeeDee Lamb should live up to. But I can't say that right now because CeeDee Lamb is freaking on fire.
Balling.
I can't say the same thing.
Balling.
Yeah. I would have clearly said Diggs, but Diggs is hurt. So I'm not going to say that because Diggs hasn't played this year, but Diggs is overrated. So it's clearly two people because Dak is having a great year. So I'm not going to put Prescott on this list. Dak is having arguably the best quarterback year of his career, and probably one of the better of all the he's outperforming Mahomes. He's outperforming. You can't. I'm not going to put Dak. So it's two players right now for me. One will be shocking to most. I'm going to go with the guy who got the franchise tag, and I'm going to take Tony Pollard here. Everybody thought Tony Pollard coming into this year was going to be this, world next coming of the next great running backs, and Tony Pollard gets his chance to be an everyday starter and has struggled mightily all year long. He's found it over the last couple of weeks, but I don't know. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys maybe give him another year, but he's not getting another franchise tag. He's gonna have to take a lesser contract because he's been that poor this year. But just so everybody else,
every down back.
Yeah, he's not an every down back. He's gonna have to move on from that. But I was thinking about DeRon Bland. I think he has all the pick sixes, but if you really look at it, the reason he has all those pick sixes is because he gives up a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns. So teams pick on him, but when the bad play, he makes the right play at the right time. The only reason, but I was gonna say Bland just because
I have another one that I don't know if you thought of it, but he got paid a good amount of money and he hasn't done nothing. And that's Michael Gallup.
Oh yeah, Gallup. Yeah, and every wide receiver though, Gallup's been bad. Cooks, I forget Cooks is a Cowboy.
Cooks
this is the
worst. Good. Come on, lately.
Yeah, but not like the Cooks we love and know. Usually, Cooks has never been this irrelevant on a team before.
Yeah.
He only has 37 receptions, 497 yards. He has turned it on, though. I know because he has 5 touchdowns now. I know he must have been really good the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, last couple of weeks has been good.
Yeah, Gallup has been.
All right, Denver.
Yeah, this one's a tough one.
I can take Russell Wilson. But I don't know.
Russell?
I don't know. Yeah. You know what?
Russell's been on fire the last couple of weeks.
I'm taking the guy that...
And I just think because he's dirty. There's a dirty guy who's already missing some more time because of his injury.
Clinton Jackson? No, I'm not taking Clinton Jackson. I don't think he's overrated. I just don't think he's good. I think
there's a clear one. Clear one.
We had the dirtiest player in the NFL with that Clinton Jackson out on the list. But no,
all I'm telling you is that this guy was in the same draft as CeeDee Lamb. That's your hint.
No. That was my pick, and that's who I'm picking is the wide receiver from Alabama. Yeah. What a complete and utter bust he has been. I cannot believe how much of a bust he was. Like, We were thinking that he was going to be the next Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
Shame
we were
on
like,
us.
yeah, we were. A lot of people were bullish this year. Just by the way, 40 receptions, 491 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Like,
He had a good year last year, though. He had 67 receptions, 972 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
that's been good.
Yeah, that's not bad, but yeah,
But
he's
but
okay.
I thought when he was going to be like, you know, almost 80 receptions for 1,000 yards kind of guy.
Yeah. Oh God,
So
I
you
hate
got
that.
the Lions.
I know this is a because this team is young.
Yeah, I got the Packers. Who would like to pick for the Packers, man?
I know because these next two. Oh God, this is.
Oh, you know what?
like how-
I got it.
You got it. I'm curious on what you got. I
It's not David Run.
yeah,
No.
it should be.
It's scripted, but like he's been injured. So really,
Yeah, we're being polite. We're not screwing the guys who have been injured. You know, I could. Do I go back to back? I could go back to back there. I think that's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go back to back Alabama. I'm gonna say Jameson Williams. With this team right now,
Yeah, no, it has been. No.
he hasn't been what you wanted him
I
to
think
be.
that's been my one complaint. My one complaint with Ben Johnson is it doesn't seem like they get Jameson Williams the ball enough though.
No, but when they do,
block.
he still doesn't. When he shouldn't have been a first round pick. That's for sure. He shouldn't have been as high as he was. He's too much like too many teams are trying to take these over the top wide receivers, Hollywood Brown, Jameson Williams, and company, way too early in the first round because they're hoping that they could be the. You don't take a guy who's going to catch you 40 balls, 600 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the first round.
Tyreek Hill, that's why.
Yeah, but Tyreek, yeah. Everybody's hoping to find the night.
But like the way that Jameson Williams and Clinton dominated those voting, like he completely destroyed Notre Dame. You not remember that? Like he completely destroyed them.
Okay, I don't care about bowl games though. It doesn't matter. Those games are most of the time when they're not the playoffs.
I mean, playoff game. That was a playoff game. Sorry, that was football playoff game. And then in the championship game, before he got hurt, he had 150 yards before halftime.
I know we all thought he was going to be something more than he was, but he was always over the top wide receiver, and it's obviously not panning out.
It's only a year too, so he's got time to pan it around.
Yeah. So, all right, you got my Green Bay.
All right, Green Bay. This is going to have your shot for you. And a lot of Packers fans.
Think about it. There's a clear one.
I'm taking the guy that got paid a good amount of money, and he really hasn't done much, in my opinion. And then Aaron Jones. He's been overrated.
Oh, he's been injured all year long, dude. He's missed like 7 games.
And last year was that good too.
Yes, it was. This is a bad point. There's a couple other guys I would have had no problem with. Aaron Jones was actually kind of a shock. Like, hold on. Like, I'll put it down, but Aaron Jones actually had a pretty good year last year, dude. Aaron Jones last year had 1,100 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns, but he had 59 carries for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Well, so he had like. I can't know it. Well, I guess this year have not been, but he's been hurt. But no.
Yeah, he's been really hurt this year. The one, I'll put it down, that's your pick, but I would have said Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander, since he's got paid, hasn't lived up to his.
No, you know what? That he's been hurt too. Right? It's a hard one. I hate hitting these guys with them hurt.
Yeah, that's the problem. Right now, the Packers we're the youngest team in football, so it's hard to pick an overrated player on a young team. And also, the guys that you want to say overrated are the injured guys. So David Bakhtiari, who's missed so much time over the last 3 years, is it fair? But I mean, it's an ACL from 3 years ago. So that would have been my argument. It's like, all right, dude, you haven't recovered from an ACL from 3 years ago. Where, that's how much effort are you like? It makes you put question in on how much effort, because you're seeing guys come back from other severe injuries a lot quicker, and it's taking you 3 years to recover from an ACL. So, but whatever. Aaron Jones is the pick. I get it.
We can revisit that's the thing is. This is the thing is, we can revisit this and like hit guys off on this.
Yeah. So we'll keep moving. I got the Houston Texans here. Another young team, or not young. They signed a lot of veterans, and they're actually playing really well. But I'm going to have to go here because a lot of people were high on this guy coming into the year. I know he had a little bit of injury, missed like a week or two, but he's played enough games where it shouldn't been. But a lot of people expected this guy to be a lot better this year. And for fantasy purposes, we're expecting him to be really good. I'm taking Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce has been nothing but a disappointment this season.
He really has.
Yeah, he just has not lived up to the potential everybody thought he was going to be this year. I mean, Devin Singletary, who's never looked good, has been nothing but a stud for this Houston Texans team. So, I mean, when Dameon Pierce is allowing Devin Singletary to look like the future back, that says a lot.
Yeah.
So, what about you, sir? You got the Colts.
I'm looking at the Colts, because I'm like trying to figure out who is like a guy that is like definitely considered overrated.
Yeah, because there's no wide receiver there.
And that's what I'm thinking. DeForest Buckner.
DeForest Buckner. There's our first defender in a while. I think is that our first defender in total?
I think I'm the first defender period.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Remember like the big like hype on him coming out, like he got drafted by the 49ers, and like he still didn't pan out the Niners, and I think he went to the Colts. I mean the Chiefs moved it, and now he's with the Colts.
He was traded from the 49ers straight to the Colts.
Okay.
And he's never left since. Yeah. Did I spell his name right?
Yeah.
Please, is it? No, I have 2 R's. It's only 1 R.
It's only one F. Oh, yeah, one F. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just curious. How is he doing this year? He has 5.5 sacks for interior defensive lineman. But we have to pick somebody somewhere. That, the Colts, you got to be, again, young team.
You know what? Like, the line works. I don't know what it's hurt, but you also played a complete bust.
Who's that?
The line works. Remember when the line works there, the tight end?
I still like Jelani. Yeah, well, isn't Jelani only a second-year guy?
Yeah. What happened? He had a good year last year. Well, not great.
Well, he had a rookie year. He had a good rookie year. He has 25 receptions. Oh, wait, he hasn't even played this year. He only has 22 and 2 stats.
Isn't he hurt?
Yeah, I don't know. What
Must be hurt.
I'm trying to see.
Kind of like, that's why I stayed away from him. I haven't even seen him play.
Yeah, because he is on the IR.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Well, look at him then.
Yeah, he must have got hurt because he's been on the IR since all year long. I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay.
Another one could have been Fred Froman.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I got the Jaguars here.
Oh, here's your chance to pick another defender.
I
know. And you don't like him.
He should have never went number 1 overall. He really shouldn't. And that's where I was going to go. I was trying to find an argument because he's a young player. But let's be honest, he comparable to what everybody else in that draft class has done. Trayvon Walker has not lived up to that number 1 pick overall potential. I mean, he does have 5 sacks this year. So, I mean, he has done
he
better.
is.
But
I was like trying to look on Trayvon Walker and then the Colts.
But let's be honest. If the Jacksonville Jaguars had any opportunity to redo that number 1 pick, they're rushing to the stadium and taking Adrian Hutchinson. That was such a dumb pick. Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson. They made that was such a dumb pick. Like Trayvon Walker coming into that draft year was like, okay, maybe a potentially first-round draft pick, late first-round draft pick, just to get that 5th-year option. You know, it was like he has the potential to be a good edge guy, late first, and then he had that freaking draft combine and it just flew up the stocks, and the Jaguars just like, you know, completely said screw Scott.
That means a Miles Jack once again was a Jaguar. You don't know where you're going to put him, and that makes it really hard for a defensive coordinator who was set in his mindset that I'm going to put this guy here, and then he can't put him there if you don't pan it out like this.
Yep. So that was Team 16. So before